Hey family, Day. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to read the scripture in Luke. I've been in Luke a lot, Luke and Matthew. I don't know what's been going on. God's been really speaking to me through these chapters, but which is a good thing. I'm not complaining, but I'm gonna start off reading Luke chapter 8, starting at verse 43. And it says, a woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding, and she could find no cure. Coming up behind Jesus, she touched the fringe of his robe. Immediately the bleeding stopped. Who touched me? Jesus asked. Everyone denied it. Peter said, Master, this whole crowd is pressing up against you. But Jesus said, someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go from me. When the woman realized that she could not stay hidden, she began to tremble and fell to her knees in front of him. The whole crowd heard her explain why she had touched him and that she had been immediately healed. Daughter, he said to her, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. So that was Luke 8:43 through 48. And from what I was reading, which is amazing, is that for one, it's like the suffering of her. It says that she was suffering for 12 years with constant bleeding. So it's like, well, what I got out of it is that, okay, well, what am I suffering with? What are you suffering with? And how long have you been suffering with it? And for how many years, how many months? And then it says she could find no cure. There was no doctor to help. There was nothing that was able to help her with the stopping of her bleeding. So there's no doctor to help, nothing to stop her. In our case, it could be no amount of liquor, no man, no woman, no amount of friendships that you can ever have, no doctors, no painkillers, no substance, nothing that you will ever be able to do that you will be able to find a cure for your pain that you're trying to cover. And then it says she touched the fringe of his robe. She made a move. And it says, and I get that from because she touched him. But then it says someone deliberately. And deliberately means consciously and intentionally and on purpose. So she did this. She made a move. She didn't just stay there. She got tired of her situation. She figured out Jesus was around. She said, I'm getting up. I'm making my way. There ain't no cure. I'm not about to just lay here. It's time to go on. I'm tired of bleeding. In our case, I'm tired of being broken. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of just dealing with what I'm dealing with for all these years. It's time for me to get up and make a move and get to Jesus. And then it says immediately the bleeding stopped. So not tomorrow, not 5 minutes, not 5 seconds, immediately. So when we get in the presence of Jesus, immediately he has that type of power as to where immediately things can change, our situation can change. You don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to wait all these other 5 months. Immediately. It says, based on your faith has made you well. It's all about your faith. Like when you go in the presence of God, it's about your faith. And knowing basically who you talking to. And then, which is also, I'm going to go on and read a little bit too. It says, while he was still speaking to her, this is Luke 8:49. While he was still speaking to her, a messenger arrived from the home of Jairus, the leader of the synagogue. He told him, your daughter is dead. There is no use troubling the teacher now. But when Jesus heard what happened, he said to Jairus, don't be afraid. Just have faith and she will be healed. So he's saying that, like, it's our faith. Have faith. And when they arrived at the house, Jesus wouldn't let anyone go in with him except for Peter, John, and James, and the little girl's father and mother. The house was filled with people weeping and wailing, but he said, "Stop the weeping. She isn't dead. She's only asleep." But the crowd laughed at him because they all knew that she had died. And then this stood out too. Like, there's always going to be people that don't believe in you and what, God told you to do, or what what you call here to do, when you try to step out on faith and do what you have to do. But they're going to be laughing. They're going to tell you can't do it. Oh, that sounds too good to be true. They laughed at him. They're saying because they knew. They're going to say that I know that you're not supposed to do that. That don't sound right. They don't know nothing. This is Jesus. If Jesus is telling you to do something, that's what he's telling you to do. They don't got no call in your life. They don't tell you what to do. So everything comes by you. You talking to God. You have to go to God for everything in your life, and trust that he has a path for your life. Once he tells you that, then you know for sure. And whatever else people got to say, let them laugh, because he about to work a miracle, and he gonna do it right in front of their faces. And then it says, then Jesus took her by the hand and said in a loud voice, "My child, get up." And at that moment, her life returned. And immediately she stood up. And then Jesus told them, "Give her something to eat." Like, now y'all take care of her now. I just did this. Y'all give her something to eat. Since y'all laughing. Her parents were overwhelmed, but Jesus insisted that they not tell anyone what had happened. So this was like amazing reading it. Like I said, I've read this so many times, so many years, and I love this story. But to just actually like really read it again and take my time and really sit with it and understand and get a lot from it is amazing. Hopefully you got something from it too. And that's why I say it's all about reading for yourself and understanding what the word is saying, what it's speaking to you. Because it's not enough for us to read the word, rush through it. You're not getting nothing out of it. Or letting somebody just tell you anything. So when you read the word, read it for yourself and, take what he's speaking to you. And then another thing too, what I got from this is like, don't think that because God is ever too busy to deal with your situation. Like, he can deal with everybody at the same time. Like, don't think he done work 2 miracles. So it's like he can work multiple miracles and do everything. He do whatever he want. Omnipresent. He does whatever. So don't think that he's ever too busy to talk to you or to hear you out, to hear your prayers or to love you. And that's God doesn't change. So that's another thing I got out of that. It's not in there, but that's what I got out of it too. Like, for my personal stuff, because sometimes we can think, I used to think that maybe, he don't hear me praying, because we think that sometimes because he don't come and answer right away certain things, but certain things he do and certain things he don't. So it's just about faith, and you have to keep pressing on. And like I said, like it reads in the scripture, like I said, is deliberately is intentionally and on purpose. You have to do things on purpose. You have to touch Jesus on purpose. It's not enough to just keep laying around and for us to just keep suffering. Put us here. Yeah, we're gonna, says if the scripture says if we don't suffer with him, we can't reign with him. But at the end of the day, we don't have to suffer our whole life. And so that's just what I got out of this. And hopefully it has helped someone, and have a blessed day.